We're going to demonstrate tidying away ends, and to start with I'm going to show how to tidy away an end when you start a chain. We're going to work it into alternate chains, so we're going to bring it up and work around it, and then on the next chain we don't, and then on the next chain we do, and on the next chain we don't, and we carry on like that. Now normally when you turn to work back along your chains you work through here. That's what most books tell you to do, but I prefer to work through the back ridge, which means working through here, which will actually take us around the carried thread as well and make it really firmly secured. It's also a very tidy way to do your first row. In a moment I'll show you what it looks like on the bottom. Looks like that. Very tidy. Okay, I'm going to carry on to the end of the row, and when I come to change and start a new row I'll show you a trick for that too. Now I've got to the end of the row. Normally instructions tell you to do a certain number of chain and turn and skip the first stitch and work in the next stitch. What this tends to do, because the chain isn't quite as fat as a real stitch, is make a bit of a gap at the start here, which I find quite ugly, so I've got a trick to get around that, and it goes like this. When you get to the end of your row, insert your hook from behind, grab a loop and pull it through and turn, finish your first stitch like this, and then work another one into the side of it and another one into the side of that for however many chains you need. I need 3, so that's 1, 2, 3. And I carry on working. And there's no ugly gap at the start. I'm going to carry on down the row, and we're going to change colours, and I'll show you how to tidy away ends for that too. So I'll meet you in a moment when I'm ready to change colours. Now we're ready to change colours, so we don't quite finish our stitch with the old colour. We leave the last 2 loops on the hook and we get our new colour and work the last part with the new thread like that. We're going to leave our tails hanging for now, might do to have a longer tail, and carry right on working as if nothing ever happened, and we'll start to deal with those tails when we return on the next row, and I'll meet you when I'm coming back the other way. Alright, now that we're approaching our tail on the other side, we want to work over it along here, but we also want to make it change direction, because when you change direction that makes the tail more firmly secured. So to do that we're going to work around the stitch in a similar way to we did when we were doing the chains. So I'm going to pull it up to here, I'm going to prop it through, work around it. I can bring it through again and work around it. And now I'm going to carry right on working over that tail. If the tension isn't quite right, you can adjust it at this point. We can snug that up a little bit just like that. Okay, now we're going to work over the tail we had of our original colour. just like that, work straight over it. Help if that other end didn't get in the way. See if I can get it out of the way for a moment. Alright. And because it's the same colour that we're running it against, it's hidden. Now you can carry on to the end of the row. If you wanted this to be a tail that you cut off, then later on you could cut that off and then weave it back in an opposite direction. Weave it down through a stitch and along the bottom, or just weave it back under through there, and it's that change in direction that will really lock it into position well. But let's say you know that you wanted to use this colour on another row. You could, if you wanted to, carry it up on the next stitch so that it's ready when you come back. And we can do that by working around it. Whoops, let's try and get my fingers in order. Like that, and you can see if you wanted to use that on the next row up, it would be available to use. Or if you even wanted to use it now, you could use it to finish off that stitch and change colour right there. So there we have one side with the tail that you'd cut off after you've washed it, and there we have the other side. And that's how you do it.